Hello, Internet. So yeah, gonna give my thoughts on well, the final issue of Avengers, obviously, number 44. Yeah, and then I guess like a semi recap of stuff before that, because the last issue I had read was the arc where there's a time jump, because the time gem was in play, and then basically it was ended with Cap in the future, and then Kang. Who else was there? Iron Lad, and I think there's another person there besides King and Iron Lad. I don't remember, but yeah, it was those three into the line. Captain America throws a shield, gets the gem, teleports back. He has this great monologue about I don't let I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was great. I was like, man, Captain America, you're awesome. And then he comes back and he's like, all right, Hawkeye. Wait, no, Hawkeye was there. Starbrand was there. Thor was there. Black Widow was there. And he's like, all right, let's do this. Let's go get the Illuminati. But yeah. So before I start, like my last video, I was like, who are the two dudes that they sent to the multiverse? It was Starbrand and Night Mask, those two. So yeah. And then there's something else I can't remember, but whatever. But anyway, so Avengers, man, it was weird. Cause yeah, they're like the one thing I wanted to know was like right as I was reading New Avengers and it like showed stuff, and I was like, well, these two books tie into each other, so I'm guessing I'm gonna find out. I didn't find out, like, it never showed how Tony Stark ended up back in the cage that Black Swan was in the whole time. So that was weird, but whatever. And man, there are so many good like switcheroos and moments in this one where it's just like, what is going on? And then it's cool because Cyclops shows up, so it's like, oh, is there going to be some crazy stuff going down with him? Like some Nation X, I have no idea what that is. I didn't look it up on Wikipedia. There's like 2 or 3 issues where it's like him talking to Beast, and then Sunspot and Cannonball are there. And so they're talking about stuff, and then like Sunspot and Cannonball are trying to recruit him to be like, come on, dude, you can redeem yourself. It was great. But then like it was so weird because all like talking in very there's a word for it I can't think of. But yeah, he's like, I found this Phoenix egg, and then the next time he's talking to them, he's like, it's about resurrection, blah blah blah. So it's like, yeah, very cryptic. That's what it was. So it's just like kind of weird stuff going on. But yeah, it's really weird what happens in the events here, because you have basically an 8-month or 6-month jump forward when you have which is when the Cabal come into play. And that's basically when I stopped reading both books, but whatever. So when we pick back up, basically the Cabal just like keep destroying all the incursion worlds, and then you find out reading the Avengers that Terex has went to the UN General Assembly or whatever, the one with like all the nations go there, whatever. And he's all like, yeah, you dudes don't know about this, but basically we've been saving your skin every incursion, blown up planets, and if it wasn't for us, you'd all be dead. And you have no real conventional means of stopping this, so you can just give us Wakanda and leave us alone, and that'll be that. And we'll just keep blowing up planets. And then basically most of the General Assembly agrees with them. And then Cap is all like, oh, I gotta get Tony. I'm gonna get justice and get the. It's weird. It's like he kind of like goes over the edge about like getting justice for what was done, as far as like him getting mind wiped, A, and then B, just the Cabal having carte blanche on like blowing up planets and just like committing genocide on like a planetary scale. So that was interesting. And then you have the schism. It was really cool. It was like really interesting, because like within the Avengers you have like this splitting up of the team to where you have the Illuminati team, which is Beast, Banner, Mr. Fantastic, Reed Richards, Black Bolt, T'Challa, Black Panther, Doctor Strange, Iron Man, and like those dudes. And then they had like this dude Amadeus Cho. That's the dude that was hacking I was talking about. That got caught. That you got to see from the Avengers side, like how he got caught. But then on New Avengers, you saw him as they were getting the info, and then he got captured. Um, and Captain America was like on there for like 2 or 3 issues, and then they mind wiped him. And so yeah, so there's that group, and then you have the Shield Avengers, which are the people that stayed with Cap throughout the whole thing. So that's Hawkeye, Maria Hill, War Machine, Sue Storm, Falcon as Captain America, because Steve got it's it's kind of weird because like in the Captain America book, it's like he loses his power. Well, he doesn't lose his powers, but he gets like the secret soldier serum sucked out of him. But they never explain that in this book. They just show him old, and then they just like, but like in the credits before the issue, it has like Falcon as Captain America. But I don't think anybody ever addresses Falcon as Captain America throughout the rest of the storyline, which is weird. Whatever. So it's like Falcon, Captain Marvel, and those are the people that stay with Steve. And then you have the New Avengers, which is what happened with them. You had Sunspot. Man, it's really weird. Like, because you had Sunspot, and apparently, I guess he owns a telecom company in Brazil. I had no idea. Like, Sunspot's like, outside of like what he does in his downtime when he's not helping save the world. So I guess like that's why him and Sam were just on the beach chilling before Wolverine came up to him and was like, "Hey guys, join the Avengers," and like drug him in. But like, so yeah, it's like he has like this telecom company, and I guess he's like super rich or something. I don't know, or it's worth a fortune. I don't know. He bought AIM apparently, and they were working on stuff for him on the download the whole time. It was pretty crazy. Because I was like, what? Like this? What? It's kind of weird. It's kind of funny how they do it because like he's just like or like Captain America mentions it, and then Sue Storm's like, wait, what? Really? That's really smart actually. So that was like how they brought it up and like addressed it. It was weird, but yeah, that happened. Cannonball and Smasher, who apparently had a kid at some point in time. I don't remember that happening. I know like during Infinity they were like getting it on, but I don't remember them like getting Smasher pregnant. That was weird. I was like, whatever. Because like here they show up and they have a kid. I'm like, when did this happen? Whatever. Because I think there's like another Avengers book I wasn't reading. It was like Avengers World, but I'm not gonna bother because it's yeah. Whatever. And you have Manifold, who's the dude that teleports. Or wait, no, is that? Wait a minute. I'm getting things confused now because I think of two different people, Manifold or Eden. Because whatever. Anyway, Manifold, Black Widow, Spider-Woman. So Black Widow and Spider-Woman, like Steve was like asking about like, okay, where are those two? And they couldn't find them, and so they're like, we don't know where they went. And then we find out that they joined Sunspot's group. But then before then, they went to go visit Tony, Iron Man, but he was being held in Wakanda. But this happened in New Avengers. Like, there's a scene where they go to find him, and he's basically like, "You'll be begging me to save you as your savior, and you have to get on your knees." It was crazy. It was like he was like basically saying like, "I'm not going to apologize, or I'm not going to say I'm wrong. You will want me to save you, and I'm not going to back down from the stance." And then they just left him there. It was pretty crazy. So they basically went off the grid, and they went basically from, I think it was like from Mexico to Savage Land. I don't know. They went a long way, and they met up with Sunspot in the Savage Land. So that's where they were doing like all this research with AIM on this on the auger thing that launched Thor and Hyperion into the multiverse. That's another team, but they all died, so it's whatever. Not worth mentioning. Actually, it's weird because it's weird because in this one you see them get transported, but then in New Avengers it shows the battle that goes down. So it's like that's kind of weird how they split that up. So let's see who else is here. Shang-Chi. Okay, Shang-Chi. So something cool happened with him too, where basically there's like these planetary systems that Ex Nihilo, however you pronounce that, the yellow dude with the Omega symbol, that was helping him during Infinity. He's like launching these I forgot what they're called, Genesis bombs, whatever, or something, towards the planet, and that's basically how like the whole thing starts. Is you have him doing that, and then like they go to fight him on Mars, and then stuff goes down. Then Night Mask is created, and then there's other, the white event, the black event, or whatever stuff happens. So wait, I forgot. Okay. So basically, he shot a bunch of those at the planet, and then they became the planetary systems. It's kind of hard to explain 'cause it's like this whole thing of like the superflow and the planetary systems and how it works in conjunction with the, I think the builders or what, I guess they're seeding worlds and then stuff. It's convoluted, whatever. That happened, and then there was a bunch of different systems like that on the planet, and then the Avengers. There's a part I read one of these where it was like basically explaining each of them, because like Starbrand killed one, and it was like the consciousness. That's a funny issue. Let's see, that happened. Starbrand, the pod thing. There's this character called Pod. It's weird. It's kind of interesting though, because like all the stuff that happens, essentially, it draws from stuff that's already happened in the run up to this point, but it just like basically goes back to be like, hey, remember this part, and then like takes more of it, and then like it's like, oh, this happened. So apparently, I think it was somewhere in Scandinavia, there's this girl, and one of the planetary systems hit, and it assimilated her, and it basically was this armor around her. But you didn't know that because, like, when we saw it, it was fighting the Avengers, and it just kicked the crap out of all of them. And then AIM came and captured it, and like sent it into the auger, and then it retrieved it. And then like the whole time, the pod was like learning and adapting and stuff. And so the pod is the planetary defense, I think. But yeah, inside the pod is a lady, so that's cool. And I was kind of confused because like, I don't know. I just thought it was weird because I was like, the whole time I thought the pod was like a robot or something, because it goes into no space and then it meets a bunch of other pods. I think I might be thinking about this wrong, but like because there's like this part when they like brought the false Avengers back, and then I'm trying to remember what happened, but like the pod basically like took the form of a bunch of them, but then it took another form of like the form that's in now, and then they sent it into the no space, or it left in the no space and then came back. Or no, they retrieved it, didn't come back. But then, like, it seemed like when it was in no space, it made this own, or this little, what would that be called? There was this place in the no space where there was other things like it, and it found them, and then it just made a bunch of duplicates. But I guess that's not the case. I might be remembering it wrong. Whatever. It came back, and it's on the team. It's weird. Because at first it's talking normally like a human, and you're like, what's going on here? Because it's like, everything's cool, and it's like, why is it talking normal like a human? Because Sunspot's like, yeah, it's cool, it's on our side, it's on the side of the planet, everything's cool, and then it's like, yeah, everything's cool. It says that. I was like, what? So that was weird. And then I think Validator is also like another planetary system character, where like her team got destroyed, and then she was assimilated by whatever that system was. But yeah, I completely lost the point. Shang-Chi, basically he went to like one of the other sites of that. It was in Japan, I think. And then there was like this orb of consciousness, but instead of fighting it, he submitted to it, and then it allowed him to duplicate himself. So you have like an army of Shang-Chis, which is pretty cool. And then Sunspot calls them the Zebra Kids, but they're like I forgot what it's called. They're another planetary system as well. They're the I can't remember right now, but yeah, they grow at a very accelerated rate, but they're extremely, I forgot. It's not like they grow at extreme. I think it's like the reverse actually. It's like they grow at an accelerated rate, but they don't age or something. It's weird because like right now they're adults, and like when you saw them earlier, they were kids. So actually that probably isn't true, but it's not like super accelerated. And then you have the AIM scientists who are on the New Avengers as well, because Sunspot owns AIM now. And then you have the Cabal, Namor, Thanos, Black Swan, Terrax, Maximus, Proxima Midnight, and Corvus Glaive. And then it's cool, you have a bunch, like, well, I guess it was interesting. There's a bunch of cameo situations where it's like, well, essentially what happens is, what you see in this Avengers that you don't see in New Avengers is basically the rest of the cataclysm of the multiverse, where it just gets decimated. So at the end, the final issue that we're at here, there's only two universes left. You have the 616, and you have 6116, which is the Ultimate Universe. And so you got to see some insight into the Ultimate Time, or the Ultimate Universe, but it's just like Reed Richards and Nick Fury, and then I think in this issue it's Hawkeye. Well, Miles was in there like one panel, but it's like, dude, you don't really he doesn't do anything. So it's just like, oh, there's Ultimate Spider-Man, whoopie-doo, swinging around. Oh, also the Shi'ar. It's weird, like the last 2 or 3 issues. Well, it's not in this one actually. So it's Oh yeah, it is because they wipe them out. But like the last 2 or 3 issues, it's weird. Like the Shi'ar, they like find out what's happening, and then like we have. Is it the Shi'ar, or it's the is it one of the galactic races, species, or whatever. The one with like Gladiator and Smasher, that they're the guardians of, and all those people, Oracle and Mentor. So it's them, and they're like, oh, we got to destroy Earth because they're the nexus for this multiversal collapse. So if we destroy the Earth, maybe it'll fix things. So basically, it's like, yeah, it's like they like that was kind of out of nowhere. Like you just have the galactic forces that helped us during Infinity turn around and be like, well, this is exactly what they said. They're like, well, we owe them a debt, but we will not be able to repay it because we have to destroy their planet. So we're going to kill all the humans, and then they just come through and try to destroy Earth. And it looks like they're going to for a second, but then, it... Cause at first I'm like, well, wait a minute. If we just had Infinity not that long ago, I'm guessing, like, during the time this came out, which actually this was, like, last week, so whatever, but yeah. Well, this issue, anyway. It's like, if Infinity just happened, like, wouldn't we want to, like, beef up our planetary defenses as far as, like, space and whatnot? And, like, isn't Sword Station still there? Or is it not there? Whatever. It didn't really show it, so it's whatever. But yeah, that happens, and... they just catch us with our pants down, and just like they have like their whole fleet there. What was a sneak attack? 'Cause you have this part with like the Guardians of the Galaxy showed up, and they're like, wait, what's going on? They're attacking us. That was neat. But then I think I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm doing that thing I do where I just like I'm not following a singular linear path. I'm just like in a gajillion directions. But there's a sneak attack that they did. The Guardians of the Galaxy were there. They related to the Avengers, and then the Avengers like summoned this planet killer that they had gotten from Infinity that they weaponized. Well, Tony Stark weaponized it, and then they used it. Long story short, it didn't work, but then the day was saved. But I'll get to that. I think in this year's issue, or was that last issue that happened? I don't remember. But yeah, I did. Yeah. Whew, all right. There's a lot of stuff that happened. Oh, also, man, there's a great switcheroo moment in this one that you didn't see in New Avengers, which is crazy because it's an incursion, but you didn't see it from the New Avengers side. You saw it from the Avengers side of the books. So T'Challa had been like, dude, I'm going to kill you, Namor. And then especially after the fact when he was like, it was me, I'm the one that sold out Wakanda to Thanos when he was down here during Infinity to tell them where the gem was, even though it wasn't there. So after that was on, and then finally T'Challa got his chance to get revenge. It was but then it's so great because like I read it, and then I read the next issue, and they totally like faked me out, and I was like, oh, because I thought he was dead, and he wasn't dead. So it's like, oh, they got me, Hickman. I'm so I always fall for it. Those cliffhangers. I'm always like, that's great. And the next issue's like, oh, I didn't see that coming. I'm such a sucker. So that happened. I'm not gonna say what happened. You'll have to see it for yourself or check it out because it was really good stuff. Like that happened, and then that's what resulted in a lot of the Ultimate stuff, because the Cabal, like, there's a plot that the Illuminati hatch. This is the part when like the giant battle takes place between the Avenger teams. Like you have Sunspot teaming up with the Illuminati versus Cap's team and the Mighty Avengers, and they're all just like having it out. And so that happens, but then afterwards they're like, whoa dudes, let's explain this plan and what's going down. Or the Illuminati, and then they're saying, there's only however many, like less than a dozen worlds left because the acceleration of the multiversal collapse thanks to Dr. Doom and his bomb that fried everything. So that happens, and then there's like an incursion. The Cabal go to destroy the planet. It's a mapmaker showdown because it's like, oh, it's blue, so it's not red, which means we get to kill mapmakers. That happens, and then Namor is trying to like do this thing that he set them up, and then basically the Black Panther thing happens, but then it ends out they don't die. They end up on Ultimate. Well, they end up on a different planet because like there's another planet that comes to. It's like weird. It's like a secondary incursion. I don't know if that's happened before, but basically, like the planet that they're on was about to get destroyed, and then another planet was about to collide. And then they just they went over to that one, and then the initial planet gets destroyed. But then they're able to escape to that one. But the one they escaped to is found by the Reed Richards of the Ultimate Universe, and then he meets them. And then this last two issues, well, the previous, like, issue 43, you basically see Thanos and Nick Fury of the Ultimate Universe, and he's like, yeah, they're gonna kill us. Well, he didn't say. It's weird the way he says it, because like he says it in 43. He says basically, the most valiant and courageous of our heroes, they're gonna kill you all or something, or you have to kill them all. But then when you look at it from like his perspective on this one, it makes it seem like when him and Maximus are talking, it makes it seem like he lied to them. But but even in his own words, he said something about like they're courageous and they're gonna kill us all or whatever. I'm trying to see if I got everything set up. So basically, what happens is you have like the Ultimate Universe and 616 are colliding. They're the last two in the multiverse, which is kind of confusing to me because I thought it was going to be. Well, I guess I didn't know it was going to happen because in Secret Wars it's like you have a bunch of different other stuff. Like you have zombies, you have Old Man Logan, but I'm like, how is that going to work if it's just 616 and Ultimate? I guess we'll find out. Whatever. So I'm even more confused. And then yeah, even on top of that, they didn't resolve the storyline just like in New Avengers. So it's like. But then it's weird because it left it on a cliffhanger, but it's even more dire than on New Avengers. Because in New Avengers, it's like, oh, there's less than 12 words left. In Avengers, it's like, oh, these are the last two. And then it looks like 616 is about to get wiped out. Or not really get wiped out, but it's getting the short end of the stick because the intel that Thanos and Maximus have fed to Reed and Fury is like, kill these dudes or you're going to die. So, yeah. They basically go in all guns blazing. Whereas 616 is like, well, we're not even going to bother trying, so we don't want to kill any more, destroy any more planets, and let's try to just like save our species. And they like hatch this plan to like have people survive after the fact. But yeah, it was weird. But yeah, man, like this issue is called "One Was Life and One Was Death," and you don't. It doesn't say. I was hoping like that's like one of the lines out of the first issue is like "One was life and one was death," when it has like Captain America and Iron Man, and they're making the Avengers machine. It's really cool what they do in this issue. It's like they flash back to that part, and there's like a bunch of I don't know what the word is, but basically they have like a bunch of those scenes in between the scenes when they're fighting in this issue, and it's like juxtaposed like right next to it. It's pretty good, and it ends with like that one was life and one was death, and then it says like one always wins. So I don't know. I guess we'll see in Secret Wars. I tell you, dude, if like none of this stuff is like resolved in the first issue, I think I'm just done. I'm like, whatever. I'm not gonna, especially if it's like a 10-issue event, because it's like, ooh, I have no idea how many issues it is. I guess I'll look it up. But yeah, on with what happened in this issue. I'm sorry I'm all over the place. There's a lot of stuff that happened, and it's been since that last arc. I haven't read any of these or done any recaps, so my bad. But yeah, good stuff. I will say I think I did enjoy New Avengers more than the Avengers, but at the end of the day I did like them both, and good job, Hickman. Great stuff. But yeah, we start off and we have the rogue planet, but that's just Earth. But oh yeah, they actually use so another thing that happened. So you had this planet that was coming towards Earth previously, and then they had to stop it and basically sync it up with Earth's. I have no idea how they did this or how the science works or whatever, but they basically stopped the planet, and it had like a planet on top of another planet situation, and so they initiate that defense to where the rogue planet is there, and then we get to see and then we can finally get to see Soul's hammer in action, because it's like, dude, you've seen Tony make this like forever ago. He's not used it, and guess what? It's a one shot, one kill, one use thing, because once he uses it, it just gets destroyed and breaks apart. So that was cool. It's also kind of funny because some of the ships for the Shi'ar fleet are like these living not tentacle monsters, but like these like giant whale shark like ships, and then like you get to see one get fried, and it's like, oh, I wonder if they just like drew it just to like show it like that. But yeah, that happens. Actually, in the last issue, like, Reed Richards has this whole either dialogue or narration with Captain America about basically how Tony Stark can't help himself. He like basically is just a microtasker. I'm sorry, a multitasker to like the nth degree, and just like does it to like nobody else can when he's working on solutions for problems. And that's just a character flaw for him. Like everybody else is like not single-minded, but like one shot, one kill. Like this is the plan I have for this thing. This is the idea I'm gonna try to do. Whereas him, it's like, more of a multitasking plan of, oh, let's try A, B, C, and D all at the same time across the board because I'm that awesome with my brain. Um, but yeah, Soul Hammer breaks, and then it's also weird because he has like the superior Iron Man armor, and like it never really explains any of that. So it's like I have no idea like how he got into the prison in Wakanda. I was like, dude, whatever. And then like he has the superior Iron Man stuff on, and like I'm kind of wondering if like that's why he's such a jerk is because Axis, but I never read Axis, so it's like whatever. I don't know. I would hope not because I would not want it to like impede on my awesomeness of Avengers New Avengers because it's a pretty good run. Um, but yeah, we go back like we see Iron Man. He's like floating in the debris of Soul's Hammer, and then like goes back to Earth supposedly. Then we go back to Ultimate Earth. And then you have Fury, Hawkeye, and Richards there. And Richards has like this weird helmet on. It's kind of weird. Well, no, it's not kind of weird. It is weird. He has like this whole like weird helmet on this whole time. And so it's neat though because you see that he's basically just like not just like Iron Man, but it's very similar to Iron Man where it's like this whole time he's been tasked with a thing to do, but he's on the side. He's been doing this whole blown up planet. Well, I guess that makes him more like the Cabal. Or Namor and Cabal, where it's like, in secret, he was destroying planets and saving the planet. Nobody knew about it until now when he tells Fury. And then he had these other more pressing matters, but when you see the debris he gets from the city, it's like they're nothing to him. It's like a hacker that's nothing that like or some hack or not some I'm sorry, not a hacker, but like someone's developing some software that'll like detect the stuff that they're doing. There's something else that's not important, and then the incursion stuff. And so clearly it's like the incursion is like top of the list because the other two are completely wasted time or just nothing serious. But yeah, Fury, Hawkeye meet Thanos and Maximus, and then they're talking to him about, oh, you're from a different universe, a different Earth, blah blah blah. So that happens. Oh yeah, and then Richard shows them what incursions are because he takes them by this giant city to this planet that's there, and you basically see their plan for incursions when they blow planets, and it's like this drill thing that drills into the planet, makes a singularity, which is a black hole, and that destroys the planet. And it's cool too because like you also see him mention that before he was using the I can't even remember it now. The giant antimatter bombs that the Cabal are currently using. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, they have a little meeting, and then also, and like while that's happening, you have T'Challa meeting with President Obama, which is interesting in the White House. Like, dude, everybody's gonna die. You need to like tell everybody now, so they can enjoy the little time they have left on the planet. And he's like, yeah, your military is not going to matter, nothing's going to matter, we're all going to die, blah, blah, blah. He's like, once upon a time there was a country named Wakanda, but then you also sold our country out to, let the Cabal just do whatever they wanted. And yeah, that's all I asked, dude. And he like leaves. He was super bitter. It's like, it's way better than that. You can just like tell. It's like, man, T'Challa, it's like, he paid like, he paid, like, yeah, it's like, I think that's like, another thing is like, after reading this one, it was like, it was as evident in New Avengers as well that like was like the price T'Challa paid during this was like, man, effing Black Panther just, man, you feel sorry for him because it's like it's weird because like you also see like this part when he gives his sister the knife that his dad gave him, and that's when like so that happens. It's like the king of the Wakandan king. I don't remember what it's called, but yeah, it's like the King's Blade thing. And so he gave it to his sister. His sister gave it back when she was gonna like stay behind with Wakanda. And like I think it was implied that she might have not survived, but then you find out later on that she did survive. I think I don't remember. And then he gets it back. But yeah, it's like that's kind of like all that's left because like that's the part when him and his sister are talking, and she's like, yeah, no, it is really just the dead or the dead. It was written so better than what I said. It wasn't Dead Country or something. But she's like, yeah, it really is just now dead something. So yeah. Or Necropolis. I don't remember. So that happened. Let's see. Where are we at? incursions. Okay, and then you have this part when Fury is briefing all the, or I guess I shouldn't say Fury. The Ultimate Earth Fury is briefing all the Shield agents on the Triskelion from the Ultimate Earth, and he's like, "Yeah, we're gonna go in, guns blazing. I'm gonna give it all I got and die on my feet like a hero." Because he's like, "Yeah, the odds of survival are probably low." And you have this part when, yeah, like I said, like Maximoff, or not Maximoff, Maximus, not Quicksilver, Thanos and Maximus, they were talking to Fury, but then they were talking to each other, and Maximus is all like, "Yeah, he can totally tell we're lying. Don't you ever look in the mirror, Thanos, or something?" It's pretty funny. So that happened. Oh, and then you have like a bunch of the, like, a mix of the Avengers team around a table talking about, how who gets to survive in the lifeboat that we don't know what it looks like yet, but they totally have like this plan of like people to repopulate the species or whatever. So that's happening. And then Reed Richards is all like, "Dude, Tony Stark, his mind is amazing. We need people that can build things." And everybody else is like, "No, f that a-hole, f him." So that was great. Oh, even like, yeah, like Rhodey's there, and he's like can't even defend him. He's like, "Yeah, he's not the same dude I knew way back in the day." Well, actually, it's not that many of them. It's just, let's see, Reed Richards, Sue Storm, Captain America, Beast, Rhodey, and Carol Danvers. So they're all there talking about who's gonna get to go into the lifeboat, the magical lifeboat in space that they're making or whatever, that we don't even see in this issue. So it might not even happen. So yeah, we'll see about that, if that even happens in Secret Wars. So yeah, that happens, and then we get basically the last, like, the rest of the book is just Steve and Tony having it out, and then in between that, just a bunch of flashbacks to the like very beginning, issue 1, when it's just Captain America and Iron Man, and they're talking about, like, we need to get bigger with all these threats, yada yada yada. The Avengers machine, and then it's great because you have this part when you have like this say uncle part between Captain America and Iron Man, where he's like, I want to hear you say it. I want to hear you say you lied about it this whole time. You've been tricking us around and blah blah blah. It's great. It's great. It's like great. Just yeah. Like, I don't even know what to say. It's just like, it's just like a knock it down, drag out fight, and then a bunch of flashback scenes and just just high tension, high emotion stuff. Man, they just do not like each other anymore. It's like, yeah, that's like this part when Cap says, like, it's like, let's see. Or maybe he said, crap, I'm trying to find it. 'Cause, like, he said something about, like you and me were over or something. And then, Iron Man's like, that's the best idea I've heard all day. Oh, he's like, yeah, okay, so Captain America says, "You and I, we are finished." And then Iron Man's like, "That's the best idea I've heard all day." But yeah, dude, and then, like, you have them fighting, and then it just, like, it fades out to, like, this even larger landscape, and you can just see the invading forces of the Ultimate Earth just, like, bombarding New York City and stuff. So it's like, oh. And then it has, like, the tagline for New Avengers, which is weird, because it's like kind of weird that they used it here in Avengers, but, like, it's like, everything dies at the end. So it's like, yeah, it started with 2 men. One was life and one was death, and one always wins. Everything dies. And it's like, oh. And then it's like, yeah, there's only Secret Wars. So it's like still no wrap up to the Incursion storyline, but has me pumped for Secret Wars. So issue 1, I'll check it out, see what happens, and hopefully get some answers. I'm sure it's going to be total cliffhanger, and I'll be like, whatever. But hey, I can just wait until it's when it's done and on Zell or something. So yeah. But yeah, that's it for. Wow, I pushed the back button on my browser too much. I'm trying to find out what issue that was. Was it 44? I think it was issue 44. But yeah, that's so new Avengers down. I just need to do. Well, Uncanny I'm caught up on, so yay. Yeah, this is issue 44 of Avengers, so yeah, that was the final issue. And then after this, I think I've got a couple issues of Punisher, Miss Marvel, X-Men, and I think that's pretty much it. I don't know if X-Men's wrapping when everything else is getting canceled, so we'll see. I know Punisher and Miss Marvel aren't, so if I can catch back up on those, I can have some more comic book talks of those, and then hopefully I can catch up on my Image stuff. Yeah, we'll see. This is taking forever for me to catch up on everything, so yeah, I'm like, yeah, I've been behind forever, so we'll see what happens. But I was able to catch up before Secret Wars comes out, so I will definitely be doing a comic book talk on that when it comes out. I am excited because, man, the Incursion storyline, it's so good and it's not done, and it's like, it's funny because it in itself it was a good storyline, but it kind of like does make a good catalyst for an event, because it's like, oh yeah, worlds colliding, and then you can just do crazy stuff with it. So I'm interested to see what they do with it. But yeah, that was it for this video. So feel free to leave a like, comment, subscribe, favorite, share with your friends, or not, that's cool too. And until you see or hear from me again, thanks for watching and listening. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'm now signing off.